Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Friends in the Wild podcast. As you can tell, this is a really big deal. This is a really big episode for us.
No, it really is. New location unlocked. You all know that we love to switch up our backgrounds, our locations, but this one is the ultimate switch up of the switch ups.
Yeah, this is the one we've been talking about. It's been on its way, and now here it is. It's here, and it's kind of bittersweet.
Big reveal. What's your address?
Where am I in the world? No, I'm in my new apartment at my law school town.
Why am I getting emotional?
I know. No, I've been actually on the verge of tears for the past multiple days.
I always have tears in my eyes during the podcast.
It's just something about hitting record.
No, literally. It brings out the worst in me.
Yeah.
Makes me evil and emotional. I'm just thinking when we started the podcast, you know how I am. I'd have to reminisce every episode of when we started the podcast.
Yeah.
You weren't even in law school.
I was anxious to take the LSAT and apply.
And now you're living 4 hours away from me.
I know.
And I'm just supposed to be okay?
No, it actually talking about it is making me, and I know as I talk about my moving in and leaving everybody, I'm gonna definitely be emotional because I'm not kidding. I've done really well. I've cried once, but wow. I know, which I'm also really excited to be here.
Yeah.
You know,
no, this is a little bit different than just moving out for college. This is adulting.
Right.
You know, it's just there's a new sense of,
it's post grad. You know, anything could happen.
There's a maturity level to it. I don't know.
So if you don't know, if this is maybe your first episode or something, I have moved away from my love. Well, I was at UTK, and then I was home for the summer with Mallie, of course, and now I have moved to my law school town, which is just crazy.
No, it's actually I can't believe
I'm only 4 hours away, and she's gonna come and see me a lot, so no worries.
Oh. Yeah, she just actually told me I had to stay a week at a time. I couldn't come for short visits. It has to be week-long.
5 days, minimum 5 night stay, please.
Cool. I just I literally know you've been gone for days, but it's now we haven't spoke. I mean, we've texted, but we haven't talked on the phone or anything.
Just because I've been so busy setting everything up.
Yeah. I've been trying to give you your space, but
yeah,
it's time that I intrude.
I'm so glad that you are. It feels so nice. I think this will be, as I'm in law school, I think this will be such a good outlet for me to just sit down and talk to you for an hour a week, you know?
Yeah.
No more, obviously. The only time that I'll be speaking to you.
Right. We will never talk outside of this.
No.
So you all are in for a treat. We actually got some feedback on last week's episode that people were so sad we didn't talk about ourselves more.
Yeah. The early part when we do life updates, that was only 3 minutes long last week, so
right. And
apologies.
I think one person was sad, so everyone in we're all sad if just one person's sad because only one person told us anything about the episode.
The squeaky wheel gets the grease. If you don't like the life updates, you're not saying anything to us, so how will we ever know?
Well, my dad hates them, but that's because
he's
with me.
As I always say, he's not our target demographic.
Exactly. Although I have to say, I have to give myself a small plug. LG taught me how to make a YouTube short, so I made them for my dad's YouTube video, and they're kind of popping off right now. Why is he getting more views than us?
I know, but he has a better niche than us, hunting, you know, and we're just our niche is girls our age, you know. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess so. So I think we just have to immediately dive into all things of you moving.
Yeah. Well, first I want to address my visual. So obviously this little corner is going to get better. We're on the up and up. I have literally one thing hanging on my walls in my whole apartment so far. So, you know, this will become beautiful. It just kind of is what it is right now. It's not ugly, I don't think. I have this cute chair. I kind of hate the color of my walls, but I'm not going to paint them because that would be crazy. But so my moving experience, I would say, has been pretty great. I have Ron and Dad. Well, a couple weeks ago, me and my parents and one of my brothers came and brought some big pieces of furniture because we're only 4 hours away, so it's not too bad. Like you can do it in a day pretty easily. And so I already had a lot of my big stuff moved in, and then we came and moved the rest of it in, and Ron and my dad and my mom came. And I think everything went pretty well. The guys obviously were lifting everything. So like for
Well,
me it was smooth. No, I'm only up like one flight of stairs, so it's not at my last apartment I was up on the 3rd floor, and it was so many stairs, and it
no
was
elevator.
yeah.
Was there an
No,
elevator?
no elevator at all.
That's
So
doable.
yeah, that's like definitely not accessible, but whatever.
Okay.
Um
That's why
so
you moved out.
exactly, like I
Yeah.
couldn't stand that. Like that's so that's
Wrong.
I stand wait, what am I trying to say? I do not stand for that. Or I stand with the handicapped.
Okay.
Is really what I'm trying to say.
Okay.
So anyway, even though there's not an elevator here either.
Oh.
Anyway, so we got everything up. I'm waiting on my couch. Oh, I'm going to talk about my couch. I'm so excited about it. I ordered it from Walmart, and it's like a really nice couch, but I got it for, I mean, it's obviously still like a couple $100s, but it's a lot cheaper than like most couches. And I wanted to thrift one, but then like you just feel better about a new couch. Like if you're laying down and napping.
Yeah, we had our couch that we got for the studio, and ever since that couch, I've kind of decided that like furniture that I'm going to rest my clean body on, I'm not thrifting.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, unless it's coming from a home I know,
right?
Because when we cleaned that couch, the stenches that were coming out of that were just
And a steam cleaner can do a lot, but like you can't get down to the middle of those cushions, you know?
No. You don't know what those cushions have seen, and you can't erase that.
You can't.
You just need to buy new.
Cushions have memory.
Yes.
You know on Frozen 2 how they say water has memory?
Yeah.
Cushions have memory. Yeah.
Cushions literally have memories and stains.
Yeah.
And stenches.
The stains honestly are,
that's the worst part.
Unfortunately more memorable. Anyway, so I got this couch and I'm so excited. I will definitely be sharing that in like a day in the life video or something on TikTok. So be sure to follow us on TikTok to see my couch eventually.
Wait,
I'll probably
I need to interject. Did you vlog your moving or not? I texted you and asked you and you didn't answer.
I know. I was just kind of stressed because I was trying to get everything together at the beginning, and then we literally didn't even leave town till like 3 o'clock or something.
Shut up. You told me you were leaving at 8 a.m. So your dad would actually leave by 10. So you actually left by 3.
Well, I do have to say it was my fault. I drank a coffee at like 5 o'clock the night before and could not go to sleep. Like I was super tired, so I didn't want to like pack. I didn't want to like get ready, you know, but I could not sleep. You know how sometimes it just makes you feel sick when you like stay up all night?
Yeah, that's my whole job.
I forgot. Yeah, you know that very well. Yeah, that's just kind of how I felt the next day. So I was moving super slow, and yeah, it was completely my fault. I'll completely take the blame for that. But it was still kind of nice because we were moving stuff up here in like the cooler part of the day, so that was
I'm sure.
Yeah. But anyway,
did you vlog it?
I vlogged.
Well, answer my question. Like I need to.
I didn't really. I wouldn't say I really vlogged enough to like post a TikTok about like a move-in vlog, but I can definitely do like an apartment like before and after, you know. So
really, oh my gosh,
yeah, and like the steps along the way.
I'm so excited.
And actually, we have. Sorry, go ahead.
I feel like the video now that we're recording virtually is like slightly delayed. So when you pause for a second, I'm like trying to get my words in, but it's actually like you've already started talking, and by the time you hear me, I've already interrupted you, and now I've already forgot what I was going to say. So you just take off.
It's okay. I think we'll get used to the virtual, unfortunately. But I still think, as I said before, I think we can do like once a month at least.
We better.
Because if I'm home at all, we'll be sure to get an episode in, you know?
Well, actually, we have 3 locations that we can choose from. We have, you know, our studio.
Yeah.
We have your apartment, and now our men are now roommates.
Yeah. So I have to talk about that too, because it's just been kind of bittersweet. It's all bittersweet, you know?
I know. It's been a crazy time.
It's such a transitional phase for like my whole family, Colin's whole family, like everybody, you know, that we know.
Yeah.
Except you. You're kind of well, you're getting married. Sorry.
Okay.
Totally forgot.
Oh my God, you. You're just stuck in the
I
mud.
actually just completely forgot about the biggest day in your life. I apologize.
Yeah. Well, you're actually number 150 now on the list.
Awesome. I'm stepping it down. I
Teetering
like it.
on the edge, honey.
Okay, also
You
I
better
do
walk
want to mention,
safely.
somebody commented on our Instagram, and if you're listening to this, I so apologize that we took too long to answer, but she commented and said, what size did we get in the What We Said tour shirts? And I just want to say,
larges.
we got size larges. So
we went to go respond to the comment and it was gone.
yeah.
So if you're listening, we got a size large and it's my favorite shirt. I've wore that shirt.
It is, I love
probably
it.
100 times. I love it so much. So
it's so good.
We're going to plug another podcast merch.
Yeah. Everyone listen to What We Said. Also, What We Said is just, I think it's been so good recently with JC's birth story.
And she's renovating her house. She just had a baby.
Yes.
And Chelsea's perfect in all ways. So they knock it out of the park every time.
Yeah. They're like us in a few years, except we're going to college and they didn't go to college. No shame. We have a whole episode about that.
Yeah, go listen.
It's called Is College Worth It? Anyway, so moving in, everything went pretty smoothly. I feel like I don't have like much to report. And then Dad and Ryan stayed the night like in Lexington across the street at a hotel. And then they left the next day and we were eating lunch right before they left. And I was like tearing up like while we were ordering our food. And you know how you're like, sometimes you're like about to cry and you know that if you speak, you'll cry.
Yep.
Well, I had to order my food. So I was like, I'm literally going to cry to this guy who works at this burger shop, you know? But I kind of held it in like a little bit. You could definitely tell that I was like on the verge of tears. It's like, this burger is not emotional, girl. It's normal.
No,
I promise it's good.
I remember that like melancholy feeling of when I'm new. Like my worst thing, oh my gosh. Now I'm about to cry. My worst part was when we drove off and my dog was outside and I had to like walk away from her. And then just like seeing my house like in the rearview mirror.
Yeah,
like, made
so
me
sad.
Bawl my eyes out and I literally sobbed for hours.
Yeah.
I moved 3 hours away and I cried. I'm pretty sure till I was an hour away. And then like I was good until I got there. My parents like stayed the night and helped me and Colin stayed the night. And we all like helped put it up and stuff. Yeah. And then when they had to leave, watching them drive away.
Yeah.
Criminal.
No, it's like, it's the worst.
It's the worst. Because you're just like, and I hate to say this, but like you've not been, you know, like your mom's been staying with you and stuff.
Yeah. So, yeah, my mom's staying with me like this week. Then we've had so much fun. I'll get to that, but
yeah. It's just when your family leaves you and you don't have them right there when you're so used to having them right there all the time.
And I think because Mom was staying, it wasn't quite as bad, but I was in the burger shop and we like went over to get our drinks or whatever. And there was this sign on the wall and Ryan was over there with me. He knew I was like about to cry. And obviously he was like super sad too. So we were like, just chill. I'm literally like gonna get emotional.
No, I'm already. You know, why do I know. Like, I'm sorry, but I don't think I will ever post a video online of me crying.
No.
And even tearing up.
Maybe like on the podcast, but not like.
Yeah. Yeah. I will get that vulnerable for you all. But I've had a traumatic little bit, okay? Yeah. Anytime that I think about my dog, it's going to be waterworks, okay?
So true. But anyway, I was like trying not to let my parents see me cry. And I was like reading the sign on like some random sign on the burger, like on the restaurant wall. Mm-hmm. And my dad like asked me something and I like turned around and like tears were falling. And he was like, "Are you crying at that sign?" I was like, "No." Because it was like an inspirational, you know, sign.
Like, I'm just feeling so inspired.
I was like, this is such a good quote. I would do that. That's not out of the realm of possibility. But
it's bad when everyone in the room is like on the verge of tears and like everyone is trying to hold it back. And then you get that one look and you're like, and then it's just over for everyone. Yeah. Did your dad cry?
No, which I didn't think he would. Like he'll cry on my wedding day for sure. But like,
sure.
I think he probably teared up whenever they left me like in Knoxville, just because like I was going off to college, whatever.
And you were literally 18, like you were a baby.
Exactly. Yeah. I think that's but now, like, I've been gone kinda, like, intermittently.
I'm
Intermittently.
really just putting I'm gonna rip everyone's hearts out. I literally move away and then come back. And I'm like,
Yeah.
gonna have to do it again. I love making everyone sad.
Yeah. So anyway, moving on. You might be able to hear my mom coughing.
Hope she's well.
I hope she is. Anyway, so then they left, and I was like, luckily I had sunglasses on my head and I could put this on. Me and Mom were both like crying when they left. But since then we've had so much fun. I'm gonna be so sad when Mom leaves. But
yeah, I'm glad that you all have had a good time.
We definitely have. So
and that's so sweet and special.
Yeah, it's been really fun. And we've been just going to literally every Goodwill, like, in 50-mile radius. I'm not exaggerating at all. And we found some really cool stuff. So, and it's fun to shop for furniture because you never really need to, except like a couple times in your life when you're moving or whatever, or when you just like see something cool and want to buy it for your house. But when you like are furnishing an apartment, it's really fun when you actually need stuff.
It is.
You know?
Yeah, it is.
But
one quick thing about you leaving, I just need to put it on the record that we hugged for the first time since we started the podcast.
Yeah.
We literally looked at each other and said, should we have our annual hug? Yeah. So we hugged.
It was kind of sad.
We hugged for quite a while.
We did.
Like, it wasn't just like a quick release. Like, we hugged for a minute.
Yeah.
And then it was over.
I might be more touchy than you. I want to hug you more.
You should.
It's a New Year's resolution of mine. It's a mid-year resolution.
It's August. Okay.
It's a back-to-school resolution.
Okay, maybe, the heart grows fonder with distance.
Distance
makes the heart grow fonder.
Everyone says distance, but I feel like the saying is absence makes the heart grow fonder. Either way, so it works.
Either way, we're going through both right now.
Yeah. The heart will grow fonder.
Distance and abstinence.
Abstinence. Okay. That too, actually. Come to think of it, it also has that effect. So,
I'm probably going to have to cut that out.
No, I think that's fun. Anyway. So, also just something, an aside, obviously we're doing this very differently than we usually do, so there's a good chance that we're going to have some kind of technical difficulty. You guys, I think by now you love us enough to let it pass. Right. So,
what is our next order of business?
Well, do you have any questions for me about moving?
Sorry, I didn't realize this was a Q&A, which we also got a comment that someone wants us to do a Q&A.
I think that would be really fun.
So we might do that in the future. You all be thinking of your burning questions because you just want to know so much about us. And we're not going to be mysterious ever again.
Feel free to send us an Instagram DM, TikTok, private message, anything with questions, please.
I was actually going to say, I was playing pickleball last night, and I was thinking, well, now that LG's gone, I can actually go back to being like slightly mysterious in our hometown because like I'm not going to be out as much anymore. People are going to be like, is she going through something? It's like, no, I've just lost the love of my life.
Right. Me and Colin are both gone. You're never going to leave your house.
Seriously, I don't have any reason to go on.
No.
So at least I'll be slightly more mysterious now that you're gone.
Yeah, so true. You're welcome.
Yeah. No, thanks.
And I can be very mysterious.
Oh, yeah, you could put on a whole new personality.
I could. If you're listening to this and you're one of my law school friends that I haven't made yet,
good luck, Charlie.
I could be lying about my entire life. I'm just kidding. I'm not going to do that.
No, she probably is. She's a pathological liar. So
on accident, okay? It's not on purpose.
That's what she says.
It's involuntary, as always. Say.
Yeah. I do have just one little thing. I want your rosebud thorn of your moving experience. This is something, have we talked about rosebud thorn?
I don't think so on the podcast.
This is something we do regularly, like if one of us goes to an event and you don't want to like do the whole synopsis, or we already have and now you're just wanting to know how the person feels.
It's a good like wrap up.
Right. Rose is your favorite part. Bud is the thing you're most excited for or looking forward to, and then thorn is something that you didn't enjoy that happened. You have to have a downfall to everything. So it's just putting it out for the universe to know.
Yeah. We love
Rose
to do
thorn us.
We love to do rosebud thorns. So my rose was probably Ryan seeing my like town and just where I'm gonna be
Oh,
because he hadn't been here yet, which is kind of crazy. I had always, well, we had both always wanted him to, like, we've been here several times for tours and whatever, and
right.
he hasn't ever been able to come because it was usually on Saturdays and he was working. So it was nice for him to be here and like
Yeah,
see everything, and we just kind of
that's
had so much
sweet.
fun while they were here, and also I've really enjoyed running around with my mom. But obviously I'm looking forward to orientation. I'm really looking forward to getting my class schedule and being able to like maybe make some plans, because I have no
Yeah.
idea what my life is going to look like what times I'll have to be in class and whatever. I know like what classes I'll be taking because it's the same for pretty much all 1Ls like across the board. And 1L, if you're not familiar with law school terminology, is just your first year of law school. 1L, 2L, 3L. There's 3 years. Maybe I should do a whole episode after I learn a little bit about law school, law lingo,
Mhm.
legal lingo.
Okay.
Except that would
You
be
know what we should
the
do?
most boring thing ever. What?
No, we should quiz each other,
Quiz each
like
other.
medical terms and then
Yes.
legal
Okay,
terms.
that would be really fun. Just give me like a semester to get
Okay.
some knowledge.
I object.
Yeah.
I've got it. Like I win.
No, I'm so excited. That would be so fun. We need to put that on our calendar of episodes.
Okay.
Um, my bud, yeah, whenever that. I'm so excited to like meet all my new friends.
Okay.
This morning,
Don't get too excited.
that's Mallie's thorn of this.
Gotta make this about me. My thorn is her making other friends.
Yeah. No, this
So I'm
morning
a psycho.
this morning I was at a little farmer's market in my little town, and I ran into a girl who I know from, she actually went to UT, but I know her from, like, she goes to this school, and she was just so nice and like so welcoming, and because she's older than me, she'll be a 2L, so it just, made me feel good.
Tell her to watch her back.
No, she's super sweet. But my thorn, probably that it's kind of hot in my apartment. The air conditioning is not really working super well, so, and my couch is taking a long time to get here. Not really. It's been scheduled for the same time, but I want it to be here because I'm so excited.
Well, it's
Um,
coming tomorrow, so
yeah, maybe I'll do a couch reveal.
you have to at this point. You
Yeah,
need to do the same TikTok sound we did for our couch reveal.
I'm obsessed. Yeah. Oh,
No, we did the sit on it. You have to do a sit on it.
for our couch. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So as you can see, we just had a change of camera. As I said, we were going to have technical difficulties. Hopefully this will work for the rest of the episode.
I really hope so.
Okay. So I think I was talking about my thorn.
Oh yeah, you're right.
My apartment is very hot. Um, yeah. And also just the sadness of it all, of course.
Obviously.
So I think that's about all that I have to share thus far. I'm so excited to share more. But what have you been doing in all of that time?
Crying.
Of
Sobbing
course.
morning.
Of course.
No, actually, we have an update in the whole wedding saga of it all.
Yay. So excited.
So today, actually, Juan and I and our mothers went and toured our first venue that we have looked at.
So exciting.
So, and I have to say, I think out of everything that we loved about the place, we loved the bathrooms the most.
Yeah.
The bathrooms.
She sent me a video and I was completely gagged.
They're like 1950s original tile,
Yeah.
like where the whole bathrooms are all the same color. They have a pink, a blue, and then a green seafoam one. And like I kind of want to get married there just for the bathroom.
Yep. Wouldn't blame you.
But we went and looked at another place after that, but it's just kind of, it's not a venue, I guess you could say. But I have to say, like, things just weren't working out like we hoped for, just accommodation wise, like the guest size, the party and stuff. And it made me just want less and less. It made me just want to elope and have nothing.
Yeah. No, I don't blame you.
Oh yeah, we said that this is exactly how you felt when you were apartment hunting. Like the more you looked, the sadder you got, the less you wanted.
Because you just felt like, the more you look, I mean, this is how I felt when I was looking for an apartment. The more you look, you're like, okay, there's another one that's not it, And
Right.
you
It's
can,
just
like
very discouraging.
yeah. You can spin that to optimism in your brain if you try really hard, but it's kinda difficult.
Yeah. It's just like sometimes things just don't work.
Yep.
But because for mine and Colin's wedding, Colin wants to go to the courthouse and have nothing.
I'm
And
blaming
I would
Mallie.
like at least a little something, you know? So we're really trying not to break the bank because we don't want something big and we would rather just save some money, spend it on other things, you know? And so I'm trying to be reasonable with what I find. But I'm telling you, the wedding industry is so expensive.
It's crazy.
It is insane. I feel like personally for me, the two things that I really care about the most probably will be decorations and the pictures. Like I will want to curate a vibe and I will want it to be like photographed the
Mhm.
way that I want it.
Yep.
So we didn't like say yes to that venue or anything like that. But it kind of felt really weird that I was walking to the car with Con and I was like, this is weird.
That you were, like, just looking at one? Like, you're looking
Yeah.
at a venue to get
Like we're
married?
getting married.
Yeah.
You know?
Mhm.
Like it's just I don't know, and just a lot of big life things are coming up
Yeah.
and decisions are gonna be made and it's just like I feel like I'm becoming an adult
Yeah.
and like I need to start saving my money for like actual good reasons, as in like
Yeah.
bills in my life that I need to
Houses,
pay
like
for. Yeah, like a home,
yeah.
somewhere to live. And that just kind of stresses me out.
It's terrifying, for sure.
Yeah. And then I'm like, it's like the whole moving out thing again. But this time it's going to be like
Yeah.
the final time
But
and
you're not moving away. Like, you're not moving far.
that we
Probably.
know of.
Probably.
Um,
Unless
hopefully
you
not.
do.
Yeah. I don't know, it's just a lot of emotions, I guess you
Yeah.
could say. But at least we went and looked, you know, like we did
Yeah.
something and that was good for us to do.
Mhm.
So
Forward motion.
but this has been like my week off from work, so I've kind of just been chilling for the most part. We threw my cousin, well, we didn't really help much at all. But my cousin had her bridal shower, then I had a family reunion, and then I sent Laura Grace to school. And trying to think, mainly for the rest of the week, I've just been trying to chill. Oh, Colin and I are having our engagement pictures taken tomorrow. So I went and got my
Yes.
nails done.
You have to vlog it.
And I think I'm gonna try.
At least
Maybe.
attempt it. Not like me moving.
Yeah. Yeah. I will give you all the content you want. Unlike
Please.
someone.
Feed these people.
They're starving.
They are.
But yeah, so that'll be exciting. You know, that's like a step in the right direction.
Mhm.
And we're getting them taken in a flower field, so I'm really excited.
Yeah. Yeah. It'll be epic, I'm sure.
Thanks.
Epic. My favorite
That's
word.
pretty much. I feel like in my head that was a lot bigger, and then I just said it and I was like, oh,
No,
underwhelming.
it's huge. And along that note, I was out to dinner the other night, and there was another like kid there, clearly like with his parents. And I was like, oh, I wonder if like he'll be one of my classmates. And everyone was like, no, he's like younger than you. He's probably an undergrad. And I just thought it is crazy that there is like a young adult over there who looks younger than me, you know? Like I'm supposed to be the youngest young adult that
Wait,
exists.
I don't look 17?
Exactly.
What?
No,
Although my little
crazy.
cousin this past weekend was like, Mallie, you're literally not 21. I was like, actually, boo, I'm 22.
No.
He said, well, you've looked the same since you were 18. And I said,
thank
do
you.
you want a kiss on the cheek?
Yeah.
Because you're my favorite cousin now.
Exactly. That's
Extra
such a
Christmas
compliment.
presents.
Yeah. I do feel like I look the same. Like I changed in high school, but I've looked the same since about junior year.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree.
So. But I guess that's a good thing. That's just what I look like, you know?
We're aging so nicely.
We totally are. Thank
People
you.
are like, how old are these girls? These young little ladies.
Oh, man.
But now we have to get on to our next order of business.
Yeah. So
the topic on everyone's tongues.
The most important movie that's come out in years, except Barbie,
Yes.
It ends with us. I don't know if that's true. I mean, obviously, it's like making huge waves, I feel like, among our communities on
Right.
the internet. And in real life,
I made some notes.
I've heard of a lot of people. Oh, yeah, you have a lot to say about this. So basically, me and
Not
my
really.
mother today went and saw It Ends With Us in theaters, and I had read the book. She hadn't. Um, first of all, it was interesting to see the difference in our opinions from someone who had read the book and someone who hadn't. And also,
My
obviously,
mom and I were the same. I read it and she didn't.
awesome. So we have,
And I just barked at her the whole time, telling her you should have read the book.
yeah, obviously. Well, the beginning, I think it might like start off a little slow, which it kind of had to set everything up because there's kind of a lot of like background knowledge in that story.
Yeah.
But my mom fell asleep about 4 times. I was like elbowing her over,
Oh
over and over. Yeah, but then she
my
got
gosh.
into it and she stayed awake.
Stop.
It was so
No,
funny.
I have to say, as someone who read the book and then watched the movie, I felt like they did a great job.
I think like my least favorite part of the book was like the Dear Ellen, whatever, just keep swimming. I thought that was like kind of
Yeah.
cringe. And they pretty much skimmed over that in the like it was in it, but it
Yes.
wasn't focused
And
on
I
at
was
all.
so thankful. That was my least favorite part too. But that book was very detail heavy. Like a
Yes.
lot of build up, a lot of like background inside
Yep.
knowledge. And I felt like they did a great job as to picking and choosing what needed to be included in the movie. And overall, I think that's one of the best movies I've seen in a while.
Yeah, I think so too.
It was
And
so good.
I will say it was hard for me. I had heard so much chatter about it, like on TikTok, and I'd heard you talk about it, and I had read the book. So I had so much background knowledge that it was kind of hard for me to watch it with like an unbiased
Right.
approach. But
Yeah.
mom completely did, obviously, because she knew nothing about it. Um, and she loved it. And she like doesn't really,
Really?
she's kind of a tough critic on movies and TV
Yeah.
shows and stuff. So,
My mom loved it also.
yeah.
But I have to say, if the movie was a song, what song like vibe would it have been? I want to see if you were thinking the same thing as me.
I wasn't, and I'm so excited to hear what you think.
I thought that the entire movie was so all too well music video coded
Yeah.
and the vibe of it. I was waiting for that song to come on the entire movie because I knew there was one Taylor Swift song in
Yep.
it. And I was like, it's going to be too good to be true if it's all too well. But the same vibe was like, that was just the all too well ambiance.
Yeah,
It
it
was
was.
fall vibes. That's what it was. It made me so ready for fall.
Yeah. And like the pictures of Boston, like the zoomed
Right.
out, I don't know, landscape pictures of Boston were so pretty.
Mm-hmm.
And you know how I feel about Boston. I just got back. So I
Yeah.
loved it. I thought it was really good. And I think it had a good message. And like, I don't remember because I guess I just knew what it was about when I was reading it. I don't remember like reading the part where she says like this is it, like it ends with us, and thinking like oh my gosh, that's a good moment in a movie or like in a book or whatever. But
Yeah.
it was so good in the movie. Like that was a
Mhm.
real like it I think it was really well done. I really do.
Oh, I do too. I think that
Us movie critics think it was
yeah.
great.
I was actually watching a interview and they were like, you kind of fell in love with both couples. Like
Yeah.
before things like went south and stuff, you could
Yes.
fall in love with both. But I have to say, young Atlas, I thought he was so cute. His eyes, beautiful.
Yeah.
But that actor, I don't really know him in a lot of stuff,
No.
but I thought he did so well.
Do you
Like
know
he
young Lily? Because I don't.
No, but also we need to talk about that. I've never seen a movie cast a younger version to an older version as well as they did Blake Lively. And I
Yeah.
don't even know her name, but she looks just like Blake Lively, talks like her,
Her
her mouth
voice
moves
is
like hers.
just like Blake Lively.
It's actually kind of
Yeah, and
crazy.
her teeth are just like hers. I was
Yeah,
noticing.
she's stunning
Yeah,
because Blake Lively's stunning.
of course.
And she couldn't be stunning all on
So
her own.
one negative thing that I heard about the movie, and I do think that this might be a little true, is that Blake Lively, like, kind of wasn't really playing Lily Bloom. She was just being Blake Lively, and that's like how she is in everything that she's in. And I think
I've
that that
also seen
might be a little true, but I still think it was great.
because I was watching it and I was like, hasn't she done the same move in a movie before?
Yeah, and I always think like when I'm watching Blake Lively, and again, I love her. The only thing that I don't feel this way about is Gossip Girl because like she was that was Serena Vanderwoodson, you know. But
Yeah.
everything else that I've seen her in, I think either oh, this is Serena Vanderwoodson acting like someone else, or this is Blake Lively acting like someone else. Like I don't really.
Yeah. There was a point in the movie, I can't remember exactly which one, but I was like, this is Age of Adeline.
Yeah.
But I like couldn't pinpoint the time. I was like,
Yeah.
I feel like I've seen this in that movie
I think
before.
it's partially because she's just like so beloved. Like everybody just loves her so much.
And she's so unique. Like she
Yeah.
just has this unique look,
Yeah.
unique voice. She's stunning. I hate to
Yeah.
say it.
And she like everyone's just obsessed with her with good reason.
Mhm.
I think she's such a good force in the world. Which
But
actually brings us to go
our
ahead.
next topic, the controversy that's going on between, is it Justin?
Is that his first name? Justin Baldoni, right?
Yeah, the main actor for Ryle and Blake Lively.
Yeah.
So at the premiere, none of the cast was seen with Justin, and he's the producer, not even Colleen Hoover, the
He's
author.
a director, not the
Oh
producer.
yeah, I'm sorry, the director. And like whenever they're asked about him, they like completely avoid
And none of them
talking
follow him
about
on
him.
Instagram.
None of them follow him. So I have to say, like, whenever he's being interviewed, he is so well spoken and he's only singing like everyone's praises.
Yeah.
And I watched an interview and they were like, would you direct possibly It Starts With Us, which is the sequel book to It Ends With Us? And he was like, I think Blake would be a great producer or director, director. And was basically just like shutting it down, like, no, I will not be doing that.
Yeah.
So there's been some tiff, a ruffle, and some feathers. But I will say, whenever he is speaking about, I guess I can say this, like the movie, one of the main themes of the movie is domestic violence
Yeah,
and
that's like the main thing.
woman overcoming being in an abusive relationship. Whenever he speaks about that issue, he is so well spoken and just such an advocate, and really just wants to hone in that is what the movie was for, to like shed light onto that dark subject.
Yeah.
But have you watched any interviews?
No, but I've like heard about this from podcasts.
Right. And like Blake Lively and then the actor who plays Atlas were sitting down for an interview. And the interviewer was like, so Blake, what if people who are in Lily Bloom's, which is the character, shoes and are going through a difficult situation like this and they want to speak to you in real life? Like, how would they go about talking to you? And she was just like, so are they wanting my address or like my phone number? Like, completely taking the question as a joke when he's talking about victims,
Yeah.
like needing to have an outlet and to speak to someone. And it was like you could even see her co-star's face, and he just like looks down and has this kind of sour reaction. And it's just like, personally, and maybe I'm just not looking it up and searching in the right spots, I haven't seen her talking about the domestic violence part of it. And
Yeah.
I'm not saying that like she has to or that's her only purpose, but you would think if you're acting in a movie for that you would probably try to advocate.
Right. So
Have any thoughts? Sorry, I literally have been yapping and rambling.
I've heard kind of like the opposite of that a little bit, which I've just heard it literally like secondhand from people who have already developed their opinions. So, I don't know that this is completely unbiased, but so what I've heard is basically that about the It Starts With Us, like sequel. I've heard that it's already like a done deal that Blake Lively is gonna direct it, and he was just like saying that, like getting out in front of it so that it looks better on him, like public relations wise, so that it like looks like he didn't want to anyway, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Secondly, I have heard that a lot of people are kind of mad at Blake Lively for like maybe not like seeming to take it seriously, but it seems like there's just like a different, like they are taking two completely different approaches to this movie. Like he's taking it so seriously and he's like, this is what this movie's for, like we're not here to have fun, whatever. And Blake Lively is, as Blake Lively is, like glitz and glam and pretty dresses and like fun interviews and flowers and
Right.
um
And like it's not like Blake Lively doesn't advocate for so many things. She does.
right.
Like in her own personal time. And I think it would be hard to put the pressure of like such a heavy subject on an actress
Yeah.
to like try to advocate for in such a sense, and like making her feel like she's not obligated, but that is a heavy burden to bear,
Right.
and it
And
would be
she's just
hard.
yeah, and she's just kind of acting like this is like a fun movie. And I've also heard, and this would make sense based on what we're talking about, that she kind of like maybe took over a little, like maybe her and like Ryan Reynolds. And I don't think that that was like maybe Justin Baldoni got mad about that. I don't know. Maybe there was like a tiff on set and she kind of took over whatever. And there were two final cuts of the movie, his like Justin Baldoni's version and Blake Lively's version, and they ended up going with Justin Baldoni's version. And I thought the movie was pretty serious and not really
I did
goofy and like
too.
fun. So that would make sense that like they chose his version and he's being so serious about it. And she's, her version would have been like more fun.
Right. I thought it was very serious. I thought it was portrayed very well.
I do too.
And I thought it was just, but it like there was, I think that Ryle's sister and her husband were a great like light heartedness to the movie to make it not so
Although
like dreary the whole time.
Yes, I completely. Yeah, Mom was saying Alyssa, his sister, is like a really important part of that movie, and like the part when she says, like as his sister, like I would beg you to stay with him or whatever, but as your friend, I would never speak to you again if you stayed with him, whatever.
Yeah,
If
my
you went
mom was
back
like
to him.
audibly, she was like,
Yeah,
when that part came on, and that really was like that. I think was a crucial moment in like. Not, I know domestic violence can happen to both genders, but like a girl supporting a girl.
yeah,
And like helping them through that.
and
So
just yeah, and
it was just powerful.
right. And I was gonna say, oh, one thing I didn't like was I thought Marshall was so annoying. I just did not like his character,
Yeah,
and that's not how. Go ahead.
It was like there was no thoughts in his brain.
Yeah. And I've met people like that. Like those people exist. Like he did a good job because those people exist, but I don't typically spend a lot of time with them on purpose.
Basically, I don't think we will ever know what has transpired unless one of them come out and blatantly state it.
Yeah. Which I don't, Blake Lively won't, I don't think. But I also said that Ballerina Farm wouldn't say anything and she said something.
She did. Yeah, she did. But either way, the movie was a great success. And
yeah. Oh, and I also think it was really great how they portrayed, like, in the, like, domestic violence instances, whenever, like, he hit her and stuff, the first 2 times, like, you even as a watcher couldn't really tell if it was on purpose or not. And I think that was good.
Because I was watching it and I was like, but that's not how it happened.
Right. Yeah.
And then
like, later it, like, shows it a little, like, a different camera angle or whatever, and you can see that, like,
it was
pushed her down the stairs, like
Yeah.
And I think that's really cool because that's probably, I mean, I've thankfully never been a victim of domestic violence, but that's probably how you feel. Like you can just talk yourself into thinking, oh, it was an accident. Like it was my fault, whatever.
I think it was portrayed that way, obviously on purpose, but they did a very good job at like kind of capturing that emotion. And I'm sure what so many people have to go through. So I think,
and also I'm kind of a Colleen Hoover hater, but the movie was so much better.
I know.
I kind of think the movie was better than the book.
Although I've been seeing, this is an analogy I've been seeing on TikTok, that Colleen Hoover is to writing as Blake Lively is to acting. It's just like.
Yeah. The same thing.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I could see that.
It's all the same.
But I just love Blake Lively.
But you know what? If they make an It Ends With Us, or It Starts With Us, I'll be going.
Oh, for sure. And I'll love it.
It's so good.
Honestly, if they make a movie of any Colleen Hoover book, I will watch it with so much enjoyment. Like that is I would love the movies. I just don't really like them as books. Like I don't think they're
right. I think it's just a little bit harder.
But I love
if they make a Verity.
I think they are. I think that's a thing.
I hope. Yeah. But it's terrifying. That will be a horror movie, actually.
Yeah, for sure. It's terrifying. But there's also like spicy parts of it,
Yeah. It might be like rated R.
I hope so. And my mom was saying, like, I hope so because it's like there's so much stuff that goes on in that book, But Mom was saying she thinks they did a good job. Like there was not nudity. There were like some curse words, but it wasn't anything crazy. Like that was a good, like solid movie for anybody to watch.
Right. And the intimacy scenes, they were not.
No, it wasn't bad.
Drug out and to the point where it's like, I wish I wasn't here with my mother.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I think it was, I really do think it was such a good movie.
I do too.
I enjoyed it. But I will say I left with like a sadness, you know, like
Yeah, it wasn't like
it's
when
not,
I left the Barbie movie,
that's
I
what I
was like,
started to say. Yeah.
although I was kind of sad after Barbie because the ending is like kind of,
It's kind of melancholy. Yeah.
But yeah, I was like, dang. Like I was raving about it because I thought it was so good, but it's a heavy subject, so
Yeah.
it's
Like
gonna make
I really have been like so excited and so happy to like furnish my apartment, whatever. But I was leaving that movie and I was like, I'm sad right now. Like,
yeah,
this is sadness,
definitely.
you know?
But like the ending, I was like, oh my gosh, I want to see more of like
Yeah.
her redemption story with Atlas, and
Have
I
you
don't know.
read It Starts With Us?
No, I was
You
listening
need
to
to
it
read
as
it.
an audiobook, and I just stopped. But
Yeah.
I'll hop back on it.
I really love Atlas. He's such a sweetie.
Yeah, he really is, and he was so cute.
I know.
This is gonna change just subjects real quick as we're kind of winding down. I've been thinking for the past several weeks, and I keep on forgetting to mention it. I feel like whenever we record, I like get airheady. Like I forget how my actual thoughts flow. I will listen back and I'm like, that is not at all my exact thoughts of what I was thinking about that.
What I was
Why did I
trying to
say
say.
that?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like like disassociate in my head, and I'm not actually saying the things that I mean.
Me too. I think we
Not
need to
mean, but I'm not articulating myself like
yeah.
I wish I was.
I think we need to just, and I think obviously we have gotten better at this since our first episode, but like act like we're just having a conversation with each other, you know?
Yeah. No, I agree. But I mean, I think we're so good anyways.
No, I think we're like excellent podcasters, of course.
I hope that you all have just wanted to hear and learn more about us, because unfortunately that's all that this episode was.
Yeah.
It's us. And you know what? It's our podcast.
We can do what we want, okay?
Yeah. Jeez, stop. I haven't got on to our listeners in such a long time.
I'd love to do that.
But it's been nice. Hopefully it worked.
Hopefully. Good luck editing.
Are your hearts, all of your hearts and your minds clear?
I just want to say that I'll be praying for you as you're editing.
Oh, I'll be praying for you as your mommy's leaving you. I'm kidding. That was too much.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah. Just be thinking of me in the next couple weeks as I start my new journey, everyone.
Yeah. We're going to send up our prayers and our thoughts for LG, because this is a crucial time, but we know that she will be nothing shy of excellent.
Yeah, hopefully.
You will be.
Thanks.
You always are. All right, guys. We hope that you all have enjoyed this week's episode. Thank you for all your support. We're about to hit 100 subscribers on YouTube.
Yeah.
So that's really exciting. We're one away. So if you want to be the lucky one, go hit subscribe.
Hopefully by the time this comes out, someone has followed. But still, go check it out, you know?
And subscribe. We hope that you all have the best weekend and week ever. And we'll see you next week. See ya. Love ya. Bye.
Bye.